Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a support session and trading review for September the 14th, 2022. So we had a big day yesterday. Let's go ahead and review what's been going on with the markets real quick. First, look at the daily. So yesterday was a really big day with the CPI news being positive, which means that the interest positive forecast, which means they still haven't cooled off inflation, which means that they are likely going to raise interest rates a little bit more than what we were thinking. So there's some speculation that they could raise it 1 full point. I'm still expecting them to raise it maybe like 75 basis points, which has been my guess since the last strong jobs report, but wasn't really moving too much today. So very active trading today, and going to get into some things that we should be trying to avoid. And so let's get through it. I had a total of 5 stop outs today. Here's the first trade. And this was, I'm saying it was too soon. It was also kind of like the first breakout from this sideways action area around the 3-minute moving average, and many times that does bounce back, and it did. So it came back and made a high right at the value high. So I started out the day down 3 points. Never a fun thing to do. But then this trade worked. After I let it pull back. And then this trade was a little bit far down, but this trade worked as well. So I got that money back. But I wasn't done making aggressive trades yet. So we'll kind of get into that. And here's the next one. And this one was really not aligned very well. So you can see it had already popped over Ultraflex and the Faster Flex and the Slow Flex, and so I entered in here. It had come back in under the Ultraflex and Fast Flex, but not the original Fast Flex. So I've done that before, and it's just a good thing to avoid. So then I was back in the hole again, so I had to climb back out. I was in and out of the hole multiple times today. So here's the first trade there, right, to help me out some. Here's the first trade there to help me out some more, and there's the trade there. All right, so I'm probably about back to break even at this point. Again, prior to, without counting on commissions. So let's see. I know I traded at least one more time before 7. So here's another trade. That one was fine. Yeah, but see, I'm not done making too aggressive trades. So here's the next stop out. All right, so here's this trade, and it had already kind of popped above the moving average, and it made a bottom here, right? Made a bottom, just a couple ticks below the 5-minute moving average. Made another, kind of a bottom. I'm calling this a bottom, and then another bottom here, right? So really, I was trading into, at this point, like a triple bottom, and it just wasn't a very good thing to do. So that one was stopped out. All right, so now I'm back on the warpath again, trying to figure out what's going on. So here's a trade here that works. There's a trade here that works. I got out within that one big candle. All right, so I was being way too aggressive today, and I'm not done being too aggressive just yet. So here's a trade. This one works a little bit after 7. And then let's see. Here's another trade that works. So I'm probably getting back close to break even. And then this trade works. And then here's one that, you know, for lack of anything else, it's just way too aggressive. It had already, you know, coming through here would have been maybe okay. I was waiting for it to clear out, but but it was already well into the guide band, well into the EMA band, and it's really kind of a crossing pattern, you know, kind of having come way down underneath the volume point of control. And if I look at it, right, it's again kind of into this range over here where it had already, you know, kind of bottomed a couple of times. So here I am still over trading. So this one stops out. So back and forth I went. So so here's a trade getting back into, trying to get back into it a little bit, and then this one barely worked, but it did work, right? So that one worked, and then didn't trade anything else to this downside. That last trade may have given me just a little bit of pause. Oops, I need to get back to my arrow. This one was a little bit late, right? Not quite as aggressive as the one, talk about this one. Not quite as aggressive as the one that was way too aggressive, but it's still pretty aggressive. You know, something in here would have probably been a little bit better, but anyway, I did get away with that one. And so let's see, I may be like, let's see, I must be positive right now, because here comes excuse me, the last trade of the day here around, you know, 7:30ish, and I was just going back and forth way too much. So I decided that was, I had paid for commissions and I was up on a net basis. So I was up 4 points gross and probably just a little bit over 2 points net with all the commissions that I had, and 5 stop outs. I mean, the only word that I could think of for that is yikes. I don't want 5 stop outs. So lots of trading. Had I just eliminated 1 or 2 of those stop outs, you know, the most aggressive variety maybe, then I would have been up like 10 points gross and in much better shape net. So I was just kind of pushing it today, and it really didn't. I mean, it was moving, but it wasn't trending. So you have to be careful about entry points. Let's go back to the, I mean, kind of the, I mean, so it really, as you can see, it really did trend, right, all day long. I mean, here's, let's see, where's the open? Open's about here, and it wiggled around some, but as you can see, it just kind of wiggled back and forth over the daily bias without ever really getting into much of a trend at all, right? So and I was too aggressive for a day like today, but anyway, I survived and made money. So that's about all I could hope for, which is really kind of why I stopped trading when I did. There were other trades that could have been available, but I was over trading and being too aggressive. So once I finally got into a position, and it was already in the mid 7 o'clock hour, and sometimes the market starts to slow down, then I decided to call it quits, and so I did. So any questions on that? I do have a little something I'll probably show you guys this week, and it didn't help me too much out today, but I normally am using it, and I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. Maybe I'll show it to you tomorrow. Basically, here's the EMA zone, right? It tracks the EMA, so that you know if you're too far away from the EMA. and you can adjust it. Um, and let me double check. I think I know what mine is set at. Just double checking on mine. Well, first let's find. Which indicator the EMA is in. Okay, it's in the short-term trend analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and change this so you'll get it on the video. So in format indicator, in the short-term trend analysis, and it's the one that is set to false. Oops. So in the short-term trend analysis, and the one that has show paint bar set to false, see the EMA band gap here, right? So it's normally set at 5, and I have mine set at 3.5. I've been using that so to try to keep me from being a little bit too aggressive. It didn't do that good of a job today, but watch as I have it recalculate. Watch how the EMA band is going to move up. Right, so just it's going to help just a little bit in terms of watching to make sure you're kind of taking trades, kind of closer to the EMA line itself, right, and not getting it too far. I mean, when it can go under this, right, and see it kind of going sideways, and it can push down. I do sometimes take a trade if it's really continuing to push, around that band, but at least I know it's going to be close. And the idea is, right, if since we've got a 3-point stop, if you're taking it before it hits that band, right, then you're counting on a continuation for it to continue down, and your stop is going to be relatively close to the EMA, right? So sometimes that's disappointing because it'll go to the EMA area and then go back down, but that's usually on like the third push or something like that. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll talk about this tomorrow morning as well, and then refer back to the video. So that setting is set at 3.5 points. It's under your control. So anyway, if you're waiting for the most conservative trades, then try to analyze if you're going to take a trade or not prior to it hitting that band or maybe in the band. But the old band at 5 points was a little bit far away. So this is just give you kind of a warning track, kind of an area on what's going on there. All right, so that's going to be it. Any questions on that? Sean, did you get that? And and it's up to you if you like it or not. Any questions? Well, if you want to come back in tomorrow, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Alrighty, so Anyway, so that'll be it. Let me get this video posted, and so they can refer to it tomorrow if they want to change that as well. But I'll go over it again tomorrow morning. All right, have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.